Hello, on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see lectures and interviews. Today with us we have Mariví Simona. The space that's about to start is Learning Animal Communication. Mariví is of course an animal communicator herself, and before leaving her in the screen and audio, I just want to remind whomever is watching that we are Mindalia.com. We are an international nonprofit organization, and you can collaborate with us doing very simple things. You just have to like, subscribe, any interaction that you have with us in our different platforms and social media help us reach one more person in the world. Well, having said that, it is my pleasure to leave you with Mariví Simona. Mariví, welcome to Mindalia. The screen is all yours.
Hi. Hi. Hello, everyone. As Mirna said, my name is Mariví Simona, and I've been helping people to understand and develop a profound tie with their animal companions through sessions and workshops on animal communication all around the world for the last 20 years. In that time, animals have shown me how much this way of communication can help them to fit in our world, how this type of communication can help us to understand better our animal companions, but not only that, also to transform ourselves in a better companion for them, and at the same time in a more natural expression of ourselves. That's the way that I will explain what I've been seeing happening with the people that use animal communication in their relationships with animals, especially with the animals that are part of our family. This is the first time that I give conference in English, so I ask for your patience with me, and I apologize already for my English, which needs to warm up a little bit, but let's go. Because today I want to share with you what animals have explained to me is the reason why nowadays we all can remember how to communicate with animals in this way, this subtle way of communication, which is also called telepathy. Telepathy is not what we think at the beginning. We are used to thinking telepathy as a mental power, much from comics than from real life. But the truth is that animal communication is done through telepathy, but telepathy is not is not something we done with our mind, but with our heart. Nowadays, science has already told us that our heart has a second brain, has neurons, and it's our heart who rules at the time, rules when we get perceptions from outside and need to create an answer from them. It's our heart who, through those neurons, get the information, develop it, send it to the brain to ask for a second opinion, and then with the answer from the brain is our heart, the one who gives us the impulse to act. Well, this animal communication I'm talking about is need us to pay much more attention to our heart's answers, to perception, and at the same time, when we do that, it gives us a much more much more much more amplified thank you, much more amplified way of perception. We can when we use our heart in this way, when we pay attention to our heart perceiving, when that this is something that happens when we are in present time. When we are in present time and paying attention to the answers of our heart, we can receive messages through telepathy from animals or any living being around us. And this language, as animals tell us, is like the very first way of communication between all living beings in nature. We are the only ones who have forgot for a while, but now is our time to remember. And animals explain me a very clarified way, or no, reason why we can now remember and go back to this way of perception and communication with other living beings in the planet. As they said, we have forgotten about this for a while because it's part of our evolution. We are the last ones to appear here in planet Earth. We are the youngest species here in the planet. And they told me, animals told me, especially my dog explained this to me, when a new species comes to the Earth, the energy of the Earth starts getting into it to make it grow as like a plant. I always have this image of the plant, to make them grow until they blossom. And blossom is what my dog told me. We as human beings are now in our evolution here in Earth. For a while, at the beginning, time ago, we had the Earth came into us, and for a while stayed at our first chakra, initiating initiating our first chakra, and then our conscious was there in the first chakra, and at the same time our way of perceiving everything around us and ourselves was based on first chakra. It was we were then interested in all the things which are issues from first chakra, like our have a place here in Earth, be able to defend it, who was our family, our tribe, our our group. For a while, that was our way of thinking, that our conscious was busy on that, but at the same time, where we were perceiving from first chakra, which I really don't know how it could be, but we know that first chakra and seventh chakra are related. So sometimes when I look at the after animals to explain that to me, and I look at the drawings in old caves here in the north of Spain, there are a lot of them. And when I see them, here we seem to understand those paintings are kind of superstitions. They did it just in case it will help them to find the animals they will eat later on. But knowing what we know now from our energy, how first chakra and seventh chakra work, now it makes me wonder if it wasn't maybe more than just superstition, and it was their way of create life. Maybe they were more aware that we are now of how we create with our attention and with our intention. We don't know. We are in another moment right now, because after a while, the energy of the earth came into our second chakra. In the second chakra, we were perceiving from second chakra, interested in second chakra issues. That is mainly not anymore the family, the tribe. Now is more. It was more me and you relationship. How who it, who am I in relation with you? And that you could be people, could be animals, and could be the earth. I think probably that was the time when we started developing agriculture. We started understanding that if I treat earth this way, she gives me this back. If I treat the animals this way, they can help me this other way. I'm just uh, I'm just guessing, because we don't really know. But it's real. It's also true that our way of perceiving those days was different than today. It was second chakra, very related with the sixth chakra. So still we had probably much more connection with other dimensions and other worlds that are subtle worlds that are in this one, you know. And we could perceive them, and we could interactuate with them more than today. Why? Because the energy of the earth kept on going up and started touching the third chakra. That is going to be much more easy to understand for us. In third chakra, our consciousness gets into all the issues related in knowing who am I and why am I here. Is very, very focused in the individuality of the being. And all the issues that we find we are interested in this third chakra is more who am I? What's it's am I self-esteem, sorry, self-esteem, self-esteem up or up and down, but self-esteem, also this power conflicts between me and the others, and this idea that I am alone in the world, I am alone by myself, and then is the rest, the rest of the people, the rest of the world. I am separated. This is an idea which is only from this period when the the energy of the earth is in our third chakra, and then our conscious is there too, perceiving from the third chakra. Also in third chakra, the energy nurtures our spleen and our hígado, liver, sorry, our spleen and our liver. This is Chinese medicine. We can, for 3,000 years, we can know about this. No, third chakra nurtures spleen and liver. Liver is also related with our sight and with our brain. Liver is more implicated in our perception of things outside, and spleen is more implicated in our perception of inside our body things. Liver, as I said, also nurtures and is related with our sight and our brain, and how we do perceive mainly things around us with our sight, and everything that we perceive, we go fast to take it through our mind. If it cannot be thought of, we don't give it any importancia, any importance. But this that could be for us like the way we perceive, we might think that we always have perceived this way. Talking with animals seems they explain us that it seems to be just a little part of our evolution. And nowadays, the energy of the earth is coming up and starting to touch our fourth chakra. As my dog Gatsby used to say, we are now blossom. And when he told me that, he used to show me a flower, lotus flower blossom in the heart. He said this is now when the energy of the earth starts touching our heart, our consciousness is going from third to fourth chakra, and we start to change again our way of perceiving. We are not so much in the mind. This is just the beginning. I mean, this is happening now. We are starting to touch the energy of the earth is starting to touch our fourth chakra, and we are starting to perceive or to feel what it means and which changes are happening in us when this happens. There are more and more sensible people. We call it sorry, I forgot. Yeah, the empaths. There are, and as animals told us, this is something that is going to happen more and more because it's part of our evolution. Our mind is not so important, and we start to feel ourselves and feel around much more things. And since the heart is the middle of our energy centers, it also will wake up all the other centers. So we start with this new way of feeling and perceiving about feeling, we start to wake up the capacity of see other dimensions more subtle than what we can touch, hear other dimensions too, even into ourselves. We are developing our way of feeling as now science tells us that there are more than 12 different senses we have to perceive the world, from inside to outside, and also into ourselves. We have, for example, we have one of these capacities is to feel each one of our organs. I can feel how my liver is feeling right now. I can feel my heart. I can feel how things are moving, how energy is moving in my body, and feel if things are going fine or if there are any problem inside my heart. Not my heart, my body, sorry. This is all placed from in this consciousness from the heart, but is holistic and opens to inside, outside, and also and to me, heart is what connects spirit with life, and it's through the heart that comes the energy, the information, the information from our spirit to show us how to move in earth. So intuition is also waking up more and more as the earth puts our consciousness in our heart chakra. And one of the first things that happen when this consciousness opens to the present, opens to the heart, is this capacity of connecting with other living beings. It doesn't matter if it's human, animals, plants, and any others, because when you connect from the heart, you can feel actually the life in the stone. Obviously, it's a different way of life that our life is, but you can feel life in other beings that from before we could not feel, or we could not identify like alive, like living beings. We identify much more life that we could identify before. This help us a lot to understand animals, especially our animals companions, which sometimes have this strange ways of act that we cannot understand, and it's just because we are not perceiving some subtle more subtle things happening around. Like, for example, I remember one time talking with a cat who had this little injury who couldn't close. It was always the people taking care of the cat was trying all the time, trying to heal it, but the injury was always open and wouldn't close. When we asked the cat what was happening, he said there was a non-living man in the house who will hurt her and rascar, stitch, no? Scratch on the injury, so it wouldn't close. The people on the house did energy clean on the house, and the scratch closed. We all know, the people who live with animals, we all know that sometimes they seem to look at something but there's nothing there, not for us. No, things like that for us maybe the usual thing, and we don't think much about it. But when we start talking to them, they open a whole world to new world to us in this world. And also, and what for me is more interesting, of course, when we talk to animals, it helps them. It helps them to be less stressed. It helps them to feel that they can be seen as what they are, in for real, because there are parts of them that only looking at them we cannot even guess. I mean, I have an idea of how it is my dog, but I look here because he's right here. Maybe she's snoring. Maybe you can hear her. I can have an idea of how she is, but I have no idea of what she is thinking of or how she feels unless she really explains to me what's going on, because their way is not our way. And sometimes that is very clear to us. So when we can talk to them and ask, of course, is if it gave us a much more complete idea of who is our animal companion, no, what he needs or she needs, what she wants, how they help us, because they help us in these very subtle ways that we don't even pay attention most of the times, is what they have chosen to help us. Like they can be healing us, they can be like giving us emotional support. I said giving us because they do it by sending energy. They know very well how to do it, no? Well, they help us a lot. Even when I change house, when I change my house, I always ask my cats to help, because they know how to do by telepathy, connecting, feeling, how to do to find the perfect house for all the family. So talking with them is much easier. They 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 do much more than what we think they do for us. But the most important part of learning animal communication and developing again this capacity is not to help them, as they say. It's not so. This is not something that I say. It's something that they have told me many times. When we ask them, "How can I help you?" a lot of times they tell us back, "Start by helping you." And what they mean for that is start by helping you to reconnect with this way of perception, which they identify as blossom, no, as open our heart and our consciousness. My dog used to say, "We don't need." Well, he used to say to me, "You don't need to open the consciousness of anyone. What you need to open is their hearts. When the heart opens, the conscious gets her place." And for all in all these years, I've been comprobando, proving. I've been proving that is exactly how it works. We are in this very special moment of our evolution in which we will recover the capacity of feeling life in ourselves. We were not feeling life in ourselves. We were thinking in life, but not feeling, not putting our attention in our feelings. And we were not feeling life in ourselves, and we were not feeling life around us. We are going to discover, we are already discovering much more life in ourselves and all around us that we were thinking of some years ago. This goes very, very fast. We are going in this change, we are going to discover capacities that we really didn't know we were able at all, because perceiving and creating is like two sides of the same coin, you know. As we perceive, we create. So if we now start perceiving from another place in another way, we were perceiving, as I say, no, mainly with our hearts, eyes, especially with our mind. If I didn't think of what I was perceiving, it was not perceived for me, and we were creating from there. Now we our capacity of create explodes, kind of, you know. It is much more holistic when it comes to the heart, and stays in the present, because it's the same thing. When you are in your heart, you are in present. There's no way for the past is a mind thing. The mind can only be in the past. That's why the mind cannot do many things that now from the heart we are going to be able to experience and develop. We will be perceiving from the present, which for the mind, the present, it was just an instant that was already gone, no? For the heart, the present is infinite. You know, there's no beginning and there's no end for the heart when you are in present. And from there, we will start creating a different world, a different human, and a different world. And it won't be based in our ideas, in our values, or whatever we have learned. No. It will be based on our way of feeling the energy. Energy is what creates everything. From this capacity of perceiving energy, we will really understand how the world is created and how the world moves, and flow with it, you know, be part of this creation, like one more. It won't be we won't have to sit to think of what are we gonna do. It will kind of happen as the flow. We get the flow, no? I see it much as like if we are learning how to surf the energy, creating, perceiving, and creating, you know. And for that, animals are our best masters, our best teachers nowadays. That's why they tell us they are helping us to recover this capacity of talking to animals or talking to any living being through this connection. We need now to give this very very impressive jump, you know, a quantic change for us. Leaving our mind in a second, because it's not, of course, it's not thinking anymore, but it's leaving our mind in a second place, giving our heart and our feelings a first place in our way of moving, understanding then the information that comes through our hearts comes from the spirit, comes from the higher self, who really knows who we are, what we are here for, and what is this all about, what is this creation about, no? So being more confidence on that, having confidence, being more confidence in life, and that will give us the courage to let us flow with this information. Animals move from there already. That's why sometimes I say in animal communication, information is not the most important thing, and it's not always the main thing. There is something more. When we do it profoundly, it takes us to this place of moving from the heart and flowing with it, and we will understand that some information that our animals can give us is given from the heart, and it gives that information a very special another meaning, sometimes even another meaning. It's a change that is meant to do from us to their way, not the other way around. So animal communication, sorry, this is not very high. Animal communication is not for it's not una herramienta, it's not tool, it's not a tool for us to get them closer to us. It's a tool for us to learn how to be closer to them, how to learn to be more like the natural way, which is, of course, what animals know how to do and know how to keep.
Thank you. That's definitely super interesting information, and I can only imagine how amazing it is to be able to open your heart so much that you can actually read information that is always there, and we're just boop, not, we just don't pay attention to it. Is there any particular story that you would like to share with us, or like something that most of us that don't have that ability think incorrectly about the way animals see the world, at least domestic animals, how they see the world? Is there something that, according to your experience, most people are wrong about?
Well, there's something that even me today do used to do wrong, and animals kind of understand, but it's not sano, a healthy way of, of of related with them, and it's when we use the word no. No doesn't exist, not in the universe. What it is, it is. I mean, you cannot say, you can not, no puedes negar, you can deny what it already is, no? So in the energy, because when you start moving from the heart, or communicating from the heart, is the flows of the energy. The ethic of animal communication has to do with the flow of the energy. If it's harmonic, everything is fine. If it's inharmonic, something is happening. And when we say no to something, to don't cross the road, no, don't, no, don't, no, leave that, no. We, the energy goes in a very, very strange way, and for them, they only understand that something is wrong, but they don't really know what to do with all that energy that gets stuck, so sometimes that only frustrate them. Some other times they don't even understand, and they keep on doing what they were doing, because you say don't cross the street, and they understand, cross the street. So I don't know, but I cross the street. So so what we need to, even if you say no because we have it so much in our mind. It's very important. You can change it. It's a very good idea to change it for stop, stop, you know. So the animal understand that, okay, and then tell them, what you really need them to do. Give them a way to use that energy they were using here, if they can do this, what can they do with that energy? No, so stop, better take this, or better come with me, and we walk through the road, together, or whatever. But that is very related of the way they perceive, and our impossibility of feeling the energy.
Thank you, Marivi. What are your closing thoughts today? We have reached the end of this space.
My closing thoughts. Well, especially is what I wanted to. Well, I hope I I made myself kind of easy to understand.
You did a great job. Thank you for daring to do this. It is very hard to get used to communicating in a different language. I'm going to take the chance to say that Marivi is a regular collaborator with her information in our Spanish channel. We asked her to do this in English and she said yes. And that's what we want. That's like, it's not about how good you do it, it's about the will and the desire of sharing information that can make other people's life easier and happier, and that gets all the merit in the world. Thank you, Marivi.
Well, my English gets better when I warm up, but we had only half an hour. I did my best. My closing thoughts are animal communication is really today a very important tool for us to go through everything that we are living nowadays, because a lot of the things that we are living nowadays, a lot of the strange ways we feel, in which we feel ourselves, the changes that we are feeling in our lives, in our relationships, all that has to do with this change that, as I said, animals told me we are going through. This going from the third chakra to this fourth chakra. We can be in one, like up and down in the same day many times. We can be more in the fourth chakra, and someone we love, be still more with the third chakra tune. It helps us to understand what we are going through, and especially what is the direction. To me, this information gave me a lot of peace, and that's what I hope it gives you too.
Thank you again. It's been a great pleasure to spend this time with